The content you're about to enjoy comes from the archives of The Best You. We're devoted to the very best in personal development. With a magazine and resources dedicated to inspiring and changing people's lives, at The Best You, we work with the world's leading writers and trainers on the evolution of the self, and people whose journeys have been affected by their work and words. For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co. Hey guys, I am here. It's Bernardo, and I'm very excited to bring my next guest, who for me is just an amazing lady who has vast expertise, who has built an empire of helping and connecting people to become the best version of themselves with her programs and trainings. Marisa Peer Marisa teaches simple steps that produce dramatic and life-changing results. She seamlessly brings her one-of-a-kind therapy room techniques to the podium, leaving audiences both transfixed and transformed. Her acclaimed Mastermind Your Life series focuses on the thought patterns and mental habits that can be detrimental or beneficial to our success, depending on how you use them. When she reveals her fundamental rule that all our emotional and personal problems come from us believing that we're not enough, and explains how to overcome it, the results are tremendous and dramatic. Now, Marisa, as I said, has been doing this for a very long time. She's a phenomenal speaker. I'm delighted to have her back here at the Best You EXPO. Marisa, how are you?
I'm very good indeed. How are you?
I'm very good, darling. Very happy to have you here. We've been getting so many comments from yesterday when you came on and shared some of your wisdom. It was just beautiful. So I don't want to take any of your time. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Oh, I thought I would actually change my title a little bit. I'm always doing that. I think I'm going to speak about one thing, and then I think I'll speak about another. So I had, at one time, I had 3 different agony columns or advice columns going at the same time. I was thinking about what people asked me the most. And one of the things they would ask is, why is my mind fighting with me? Why do I not have what I want? Why am I in conflict? Why am I in sabotage? So today, because this is called Best You, I thought I'd show you how to be the best you. And to be the best you could ever possibly be requires dialoguing with your mind in a way that makes sense to your mind so it can deliver. So I'm going to take you through the rules of your mind. They're very easy rules. And I'm a great believer that you can't fix what you don't understand. And most of us have no clue how our mind works. So imagine if somebody gave you a top-of-the-range phone or laptop or indeed washing machine, manual. I had this a couple of years ago. I was staying in Ibiza. I had this washing machine. It was German. I had no idea how to use it. And I couldn't, in fact, I actually broke it because I didn't understand the manual because it was in German. So it's a bit like your manual being in German or Dutch or Swahili. You don't understand it. So today I want to give you a crash course in understanding your mind so that you can dialogue it in a way that makes absolute sense so your mind understands and then delivers. You see, here's a great example. I want love. That's all I want. I just want love. But how long do you want that love for? A night, an afternoon, forever? What kind of love do you want? Passionate, wild love, or that kind of sharing love? You might go, I want more money. I'll go, well, you know what? I have an extra $5 in my pocket. There you are. You got what you wanted. You go, no, not $5. Not love for an afternoon. But your mind is rather like that. It listens to you and it delivers. And if you haven't got what you want in life, you know what? Your mind thinks, you don't want that at all. And if you've got a lot of what you don't want, sabotage, always being late, always messing things up, holding back, binge eating, you're in an addiction, your mind thinks, no, you want that. You need that. It's very useful. We've all seen a child in a store fling themselves on the floor and have a massive tantrum because they want attention. And their mind doesn't go, hold on a minute, Johnny. Lying on the store and kicking your legs is not the attention you want. The mind doesn't do that. It's either attention or no attention. And so let me take you the first rule of your mind. It's probably one of my favorites, although they all become my favorites over time. And these are my rules. I've been a therapist for 33 years. And in that 33 years, I have studied with fascination how my clients' minds work. And then I began to understand they all work from these same set of rules. They had no idea that they operated from these rules, but they did. And when I began to collate these rules and put them together and teach them to doctors and teach them to hospitals and teach them to my own RTT students, they go, wow, I just didn't know that. Somebody wrote into me this week on YouTube, so I had no idea that my rules were stopping me finding love, and now I've changed them. So here's the first rule. Every thought you think and every word you speak is a blueprint that your mind and body work to make real. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're saying, I'm just dreading having to do that audition. Next week, I'm dreading that audit. I do anything not to have to go to work and give that presentation. I don't know why I told my boss that I would do that. I've got to stand up and speak, and I'm dreading it. That's the blueprint. You said to your mind, I'm dreading it. I'd give anything not to go. Now, your mind is responding to the blueprint. It doesn't have any choice. That's another rule of your mind. Your mind has no choice but to listen to and act upon the words you use. You have a choice. That's the great thing. You can choose. Hey, Marissa, I want to be super negative. Well, good for you. Hey, Marissa, I want to be super positive. Good. You see, I can choose to have an off day and be negative and go, oh, everything's going wrong. Life sucks. My head is killing me. The traffic is a nightmare. This client is hell. This program is a disaster. I can choose to do that anytime I want, but it is a choice. But my body has no choice but to listen to and act off the words. So you can choose to say whatever you like, but your body cannot choose but to act off those words because they're a blueprint. So when you say, my job is killing me, this commute will be the death of me, I'm at the end of my rope, I'm at maximum bandwidth, I'm going crazy, I'm insane with tiredness, I'm eating like a pig all weekend and I'm the size of a house. We know that's not true, but your mind doesn't know. So if you want to have an amazing life, think of every word as your blueprint and have a better blueprint. You see, your words shape your reality. If you don't like your reality, I can promise you're using the wrong words. Imagine going through life going, I really want love, but I couldn't bear if I was dumped. If one more person ripped out my heart and trodden it like the last one, it would kill me. Now that's your blueprint. I want love, but if they hurt me, it will kill me. So another rule of your mind is like a laser and is always trying to move you away from pain and towards pleasure. And if you say, it would kill me if I got dumped, I would die if I got fired again. If one more client lets me down, that's it. You're making a blueprint, and all you have to do is be aware. The other day I was lying on my sofa in LA, and I just heard myself say, I'm chronically tired. And I thought, where does that come from? I'm not chronically tired. I'm a little bit tired, but not chronic. And I immediately flipped over to a little bit tired, maybe even a little bit dehydrated. And the beauty of paying attention to your blueprint is, of course, it starts off being what you do. People say, I'm terrified, I'm exhausted, this is killing me. Then you suddenly tune into your own words and you go, I'm not really exhausted. Why do I keep saying I could eat a horse? I couldn't even eat an eighth of a horse. Why do I keep saying I'm starving? I've never been starving in my life. I've chosen not to eat sometimes. But when you tune into your blueprint, it really changes your entire life. So I want you to take a minute now and think about how much you lie to yourself on a daily basis. Do you say things like this? I'm exhausted. I'm starving. I'm dying of hunger. This kid is killing me. My job, my commute, my partner is driving me insane. I'm going crazy. I can't take it. This is a nightmare. This will be the death of me. So if you say any of those words, that's a lie. And it's okay to lie. I'm not one of those people that just must be brutally honest. I think Christmas Day is a lie. Oh, it's lovely. I've always wanted that. Thank you. So I don't mind that. I just mind when your lie is a bad lie. So I have a philosophy, and it's called tell yourself a better lie. So imagine you started your day going, oh my God, look at the state of me. I've gained 5 pounds. I look so fat. My hair looks terrible. I look a big fat mess. I look like a train wreck. I didn't get my soup cleaned. Oh, I haven't got anything good to eat in the fridge because I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I haven't got enough time to get to the place I'm going. I haven't planned this. I'm just an idiot. You might as well tell yourself a better lie. Hey, I look amazing. And anyway, people like me, who I am, not what I look like. My hair might be a mess, but I'm not my hair. I've cut it a bit fine to go where I'm going, but I have enough time. And anyway, what's 5 minutes? I haven't prepared. You know why? Because everything I need is in my head. I'm going to eat some cake and say, well, I have a phenomenal metabolic rate and just burn it off. And if I eat some junk food one day, it doesn't matter because 80% of the time I eat amazing food and I've got a great metabolic rate. See, I learned this with a patient I saw many years ago who's actually been sectioned. She was such a difficult girl, and I'm saying this the nicest way. I started off when I was thinking, no, not this one. This one takes all my energy. It's just so difficult. But I realized where she was coming from because she had a mother who would say, I can't cope with the sound of a packet of potato chips being opened. I can't cope with the humming of the fridge. I can't cope with any sound at night, not even an alarm, but I can't cope. And her mother's key words were, I can't cope. She heard that all her life. And guess what she believed? I can't cope. And so she told me that she had such a terrible temper and was so difficult that she was sectioned once because she kind of lost the plot. Well, that's the way. She didn't lose the plot, but she overreacted. And now every week she has to go for group therapy, sit in a circle in this hospital with all these other patients, and they have to say something nice. So they go around. I'm going to say her name is Andrea because I never want to say the real name by mistake. And she said, well, when they get to me, I usually put my hand and go, I like puppies, or today I saw some daffodils, or today I saw a flower and it made me feel happy. And someone else would say, well, I love kittens, and if I look at pictures of kittens, I feel happy. I'm like, no. This is too wishy-washy. Andrea, your job when they come to you is to put up your hand and go, I have phenomenal coping skills. And next week you put up your hand and go, I have exceptional coping skills. And the next week you say, I have extraordinary, incredible, impressive coping skills. Yes, she was lying to her mind because her lie was, I can't cope, I can't cope, I can't cope. And when she began to say this every week, when she affirmed it to the group and said it over and over again in a very powerful voice, something extraordinary happened. She began to acquire phenomenal coping skills. She never said anymore, oh, it was a nightmare getting here, the traffic. Oh, it rained and everything was ruined. Oh, I had a bad day today because someone pushed in front of me in the line and my day was ruined for the rest of the day. She started to say, the same stuff happens. My boyfriend still gets peanut butter on the fridge door handle. My boyfriend still leaves muddy footmarks on the carpet and his underpants on the floor, but it seems to just go right over my head because I have phenomenal coping skills. So nothing changed except the way Andrea began to dialogue with herself. The words she used had the most profound impact on her behavior, on her thinking.
For complimentary resources from my book, my complimentary e-course, The Power of the Question, or recommended reads, go to www.thequestion.com/resources. For more information on my coaching or mentoring, go to www.bernardo-moya.com.
And then something even more extraordinary happened. One of the nurses said, Andrea, the other patients have asked, may they also say phenomenal coping skills? Because they're so impressed. They're not interested in the bees and the daffodils and the blades of grass. Or they want to say what you say. And she said, well, I don't own this expression. In fact, my therapist, Marisa, told me to say it. And I imagine she's told many other people to say it, which I have. So yes, of course you can. So now practically the whole group is putting, I have exemplary coping skills, I have enviable coping skills. And now the ward has got it on big posters all around the room. And that ward had the fastest discharge rate in that hospital for people with inability to cope issues. And recently I went on a television show about women who had empty nest syndrome. They were saying, I can't bear it. My kids left home. I don't know what to do with myself. One of them said, I take my younger daughter to school and I cry all day until I go back and pick her up. So I take her to school at 9 and I cry until 4, then I pick her up. And another one said, my child went to college and I drive to that college 3 times a week. I go do a 200-mile trip just to do their laundry and put food in their fridge. And I said, you have an inability to cope problem. This is not empty nest syndrome. If your kids have left home, you're doing a great job. Some people's kids never leave home. And then we go, what's wrong there? You've still got a 45-year-old living at home. You've done a good job. You've done a great job. The only way you can keep your kid at home forever is if they're handicapped. And who wants that? So let's come out of my story because I'm digressing and go into the lies you are telling yourself. I can't cope. I have incredible, enviable coping skills. I'll never find love because my dad left when I was 2, never saw me again. How can I be anything to? I am incredibly lovable. He didn't love me. That was his loss. I am lovable. I didn't go to college. I can't be a success. Many, many amazingly successful people didn't go to college. So I'm going to take you through more rules of mind, and I want you to keep thinking of the lies you are telling yourself. So let's go back to the first one. Every thought you think, every word you speak is a blueprint that you are making your mind and body work to make real. And if you want a different life, change the blueprint. The second rule, you might think it's almost the same, but it's not quite, is every thought you think causes a physical reaction in your body and an emotional response. We know people think about sex, they get a very physical reaction, especially men. If you think about eating, you often make your stomach rumble. If you think about something really unpleasant, then you'll get an unpleasant reaction. So every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response. And here's one more. The strongest force in you is that you must act in a way that is absolutely consistent with how you define yourself. And when you change your definition, you change everything. And here's one of my favorite rules because it's so simple and yet so profound. Your mind does not care if what you tell it is true or false, right or wrong, healthy or unhealthy, useful or useless, beneficial or harmful, it doesn't care. Let me show you. Take your hand, put it in front of your mouth, close your eyes. And I want you to imagine you're holding half of a big, fat, juicy lemon in your hand. You're holding that lemon. I want you to inhale that wonderful citrus lemon smell. And now I want you to squeeze that lemon in your hand so some lemon drops come to the surface. I want you to stick your tongue out and lick off those drops of lemon and swirl them around your mouth. And now I want you to shove that whole half a lemon in your mouth. Push it in, shove it in. And as you shove that lemon into your mouth, I want you to eat half a lemon. Chew out all the flesh. Suck the juice, bite into the segments, feel your taste buds swelling up and puckering up as you begin to fill your mouth with lemon juice. Continue eating that lemon. Chew it, bite it, suck it, eat all the flesh, suck out the juice, eat the flesh of that lemon. And now open your eyes. And you see what will happen, almost all of you, is that you will start to make saliva to a thought. Your mind thinks you're eating a lemon. It's very acidic and it damages tooth enamel. Remember that everything we do on the planet is to keep us alive. And 500 years ago with no teeth, you weren't going to have a great life at all because what you could eat was so limited. There were no NutriBullets, no blenders. So if your mind believes you're eating a lemon, it makes saliva to wash away that acid. So here's a question. It's a bit of a trick question, by the way. Was there a lemon? Some of you are going, no. Some of you are going, yes. Do you know what? You're both right. There wasn't a lemon, but actually there was. But it was only in your mind. Your mind did not care if that image of the lemon was real or false, true or false, helpful, unhelpful, imaginary or not, harmful, beneficial. It let it in. And if you can do that with a lemon, you can do it with anything. So let's do one more of these things to show you what happens when you dialogue with you. Take your left hand and point it at the screen. Just point it at me and watch what I'm going to do. This is my right arm. I want you to use your left. And you go, I'm going to swing my arm as far back behind me as it will go. And I'm going to have a look at where it is. I'm going to bring it back. I want you to do the same. Put your arm out like that. Look at your arm and just take your arm as far behind as it will go. Look at where it is. Just mark it behind you. Bring it back. Now you're going to discover that you can talk to any organ in your body, any organ, and it will actually respond because your organs have a micro brain all of their own. We know that the stomach and the gut especially is called the second brain. They respond to our thoughts. So take your arm out again. Look at your arm. And I want you to say to your arm, you are going to go a third, let me move this out of the way, a third further. You're like Barbie or Ken. You're like one of those rubber dolls. You're like a pipe cleaner. You are super flexible. Close your eyes and imagine all the muscles in your shoulder are super flexible. All the ligaments are stretched out. Your arm is a bit like spaghetti. It's going to go a third further. Look at your arm and say to it, go a third further. And now swing your arm behind you. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And you'll notice it goes a third further simply because you told it to. And let's do the same thing with the other arm. Put your other arm out. We can speed this right up now. Take your arm behind you. Push as far as it will go. Have a look at where it is. Bring it back. And this time, just talk to your arm and say, you are going to go a third further. You're super flexible. You will go a third further and watch as your arm goes a third further because you told it to. Now that's an interesting little trick to play, but I want you to think of the implications about what you tell yourself. If I look at a cake, I get fat. Actually, science has said that if you do that, if I look at a pizza, I gain a pound. The stress of believing that increases cortisol. Cortisol's job is to pack on weight. So you really can make that happen, but you can also flip that over. I have such a phenomenal metabolic rate. Whatever I eat, I burn off, and I'm not a fan of pizza, but if I eat it sometimes, makes no difference. So you now understand the choice you have. And when you're dealing with your mind, you really need to understand it. So I'm going to give you some really important keys on how to dialogue with your mind. Here's one that's super important. Your mind only works in the present tense. That's it. It works in the here and now. When you go, next year, I'll be a millionaire. Next year, I'll have this beach body. Next year, I'll be fit. Next year, I'll find love. Next year, 5 years, 2 years. Your mind doesn't understand because it only deals in now. And although it may seem odd, you have to say, I'm becoming a millionaire right now today. I'm becoming super fit now. I'm magnetically attracting the most wonderful, healthy, beautiful, loving relationship that lasts forever now. Because your mind only works in the present tense. That's why children say, Mummy, is it tomorrow today? You get on a train to go for a 6-hour train ride. They go, we're there now after 5 minutes because they don't understand. It's why people who are very depressed cannot comprehend. People say, look, this time next year I'll have a whole different life. It's why children who are bullied, when their parents say this won't last forever, for them it is forever because the mind is very poor at future pacing. And many people who try to visualize and have mood boards and all the things I love, by the way, do this next year. 5 years. I'll be a millionaire in 5 years. I'll move out of here in 6 years. I'll be married in 3 years' time with 2 kids. It has to be now. You might go, well, how can I say I'm married with 2 kids now? Well, you say, I am attracting the father or mother of my children into my life today. I'm finding love now. I'm magnetically, powerfully, deeply lovable. Imagine you have a broken leg. Of course, you can't say, I don't have a broken leg, but you can say, my leg is healing perfectly, rapidly, right now. Any illness, anything that's broken or needs fixing, any weight that needs to be let go of, you say, this is happening now, right now. So your mind works in the present tense. Add this minute, right now, today, and every day to your words that you're giving yourself. And here's a very important rule of your mind. The way you feel about anything without except is down to the pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself. The way you feel about everything is because of the pictures you make in your head and the words you make. And if you can just change the words, it changes everything. So, see, I'm not visual. I don't even understand about the pictures. Everyone is visual. You would never lose your car, find your car in a car park if you were visual. You would never have a day's worry in your entire life if you couldn't visualize what you're worrying about. You would never go to the store and buy stuff on autopilot unless you were visual and thought, oh yeah, I'm going to that aisle and that one. But actually the words are more important than the pictures because the words make the picture. Let me give an example of that. I want you to imagine that I do not want you to think of an orange snowman. You can think of anything now, but you may not, must not, and cannot imagine a snowman that's as orange as the carrot that's in his face. So don't imagine a snowman who's orange. Don't even think of orange snow. Never imagine snow that's orange. And despite the fact that almost all of us have never seen orange snow in our life, when you talk about orange snow, you start to picture it. And that's a very important lesson for you, that every word and every thought is what you respond to. You see, many of my clients come in and say, I'm terrified of needles. But you see, a needle is not terrifying. I could hold a syringe up in my hand right now, and you're not going to react to the picture of a syringe. In fact, if you're having a tattoo and you're excited about this tattoo, the syringe will please you. If you're in immense pain, and that's an anesthetic, it will please you. If you're going for some kind of beauty treatment like Botox, it might please you. If you're a junkie, it will thrill you to have that syringe in your hand full of drugs, and you can't wait to ram it in. But if you go, oh no, it's going to pierce my skin, I don't like needles, you'll have a different reaction. I can have a lump of meat in my hand right now, and you're not going to react to the meat, you're going to react to what you think about the meat. If you're a vegan, you think that was the most disgusting, inhuman thing. If you're a Hindu, you'd say that was incredible to want to eat such a beautiful creature. If you're a bodybuilder, you'd find it exciting. So it's not the things, it's our thoughts about them. So for you, that's very important as you learn to dialogue with you, to be the best you, the very best you that you can be. Pay attention to your words. Your words shape your reality. Your thoughts are everything. Your thoughts control your feelings. Your feelings control your actions. And your actions control your events. And the law of control begins and ends with how you think. And that's very good news, because it means that you get to take control of your thinking. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to, every time you think a negative thought, flip it over. I can't stand this heat. It's so draining. It's sucking the energy from me. And then you say, is that really true? Why am I allowing myself to believe that? I can't stand this virus. I'm locked up, cooped up. I'm in quarantine. You know, it's a very interesting example of our thoughts, because many people are saying, actually, I'm really enjoying this COVID thing. You know, I'm at home. got time with my kids. I'm working from home. There's no more commute. I've really got time to realize what matters in life, and all the stuff I thought mattered, shopping, it's not important. People are important. I miss people. The other half going, I just can't stand it. I'm locked in the house. I'm cooped in. I'm trapped. I'm stuck. I'm quarantined. In fact, you're not locked in. You're not cooped in. You're not even really in quarantine. If you knew what quarantine was, you'd understand that being able to go out once a day and still go to the store is not quarantine. And by the way, Nelson Mandela did 27 years in solitary. I'm trying to think, Isaac Newton developed the theory of gravitativity when he was locked in because of the plague in 1600s or thereabout. He was on his own and he developed the theory of gravity. So some of us hate the situation we're in now, and others thrive because of what it means, to us. And events do not affect you. The meaning you attach to an event will affect you. And here's the great thing for you can change the meaning of anything at any time. So I invite you to get some paper or to get a phone. And I want you to just take a few teeny little notes. So I want you again to go back to what is your blueprint. When you wake up every day, what's the blueprint? What's the first thing you say when you wake up? Oh, I've got so much to do today. Oh my God, I've got that meeting. I've got that difficult client. I'm super stressed. Imagine if you woke up and just said something like, I love my life. I know that sounds very Pollyanna. It's a great day. Here I am. It's a great day. If you could wake up and change your blueprint the minute you open your eyes, and remember before you start bitching and moaning and complaining that your problem is someone else's fantasy dream come true. Your partner leaves dirty dishes in the sink. Your partner never quite switches off the taps. They leave toothpaste in the sink. They leave their wet towels on the floor. Your kid leaves smeary marks everywhere. Somebody somewhere would change places in a nanosecond. They go, I'd love to have your problem. Your boss is a nightmare. Your commute is killing you. But you have a job, you have a boss, you have a car. You can put gas in your car. I love that problem, switch places. And when you can understand that somebody somewhere will change places with you and that your problem is their fantasy, it kind of put things into perspective. And it really, really works. But let's go back to the rules of your mind. And many people really want to change themselves to work on personal, but they don't understand how the mind works, and they try and punish their body. They try and force their body to change. And when you're dealing with the subconscious mind, the greater the conscious effort, the less the subconscious responds. And that's actually very good to understand that if you want to change, sure, if you want to change your body and you go to the gym, you do 600 sit-ups a day, you make a lot of effort, you probably go home with a flat pack eventually. But when you're not doing physical changes, when you're changing up here, it isn't conscious, it's subconscious. And when you're dealing with the subconscious mind, the greater the effort, the less it responds. It's like trying to relax, trying to remember. Most of us have all done this. We're maybe hearing a song going, what's that other song, that band? Oh, I don't know. I'm trying. No, it's gone. I was thinking, it just popped into my head. Because when you stop trying consciously, it came to you. Trying to relax, trying to sleep doesn't work. So when you're dealing with your subconscious mind, which is your feeling mind, you actually don't have to try. No effort is required. You just have to talk to it and say things like, hey, mind, today what I require of you, what I need of you, what I insist on from you is this. So let's imagine you're all going to give a talk somewhere. You've decided, I'm going to give a talk. I'm going to get a new client. I'm going to give a motivational speech. I'm going to do it. I'm going to appear on someone's blog. I'm going to do what you're doing. I'm going to speak on a webinar. And I'm going to really practice and rehearse and keep reading it and get it all right and practice. Nothing wrong with practicing. But that's trying. And the best way to be amazing is to just say to your mind, hey, mind, what I require of you today, what I need, what I insist on is to be amazing when I speak, to be natural, to find the words flow from me, to feel so comfortable. When I go to meet my boss, to talk to him about the idea I've had, I want to be super confident. I want my voice to be confident. I want to see him nodding his head going, yeah, I love this idea. Tell me more. Because you see, getting a vision of it is subconscious. And that's way more important than practicing. I've seen many speakers who are good, some are amazing, but some are word perfect, but they don't really deliver because they put all their energy into memorizing it. And that's not what you want. I'm going to tell you a sentence now that will change your entire life should you choose to use it. Here it is. I have chosen to do this, and I have chosen to feel great about it. I've chosen to stop eating cake and to eat fruit, and I've chosen to feel great. I've chosen to stop eating burger and fries and to actually have salad instead, and I've chosen to love it, to be elated and thrilled about it. I've chosen to go to the gym, and while I'm there, I say things like, oh, my body loves sit-ups, my body loves lunges, my legs love lunges, my stomach loves crunches, my arms love weights. And you see, you may be lying to yourself, but that's a better lie than, oh, I hate this. It hurts, it's painful, it's boring. Tell yourself a better lie. I am choosing to eat differently. I'm choosing to feel great. I'm choosing to get up early and work on my website or work on my company. And I'm choosing to say, I love it, love it, love it. There is nowhere I'd rather be in the entire world than here working on my website. And I know that to be the case because many years ago, my daughter was still very young. A publishing company came to me and gave me a lot of money to write a book. And I think my daughter must have been 4. I was about 30, mid-30s. And I kept remember thinking, oh, no, actually, it was before my daughter was born. Sorry, I was 25 and a publishing company gave me all this money to write a book. And my first thought was, gosh, it's very isolating writing. I'm a bit young to sit down and write a book and to lock myself away. And I kept thinking about locking myself away, writing a book, how boring it was, how time-consuming, how I was missing out. And you know what happened. I didn't write the book. I gave the advance back. 10 years later, when I was now in my mid-30s, not mid-20s. I got from 25 to 35. I had a 5-year-old child, and I was offered a huge amount of money to write a book. And I knew I had to do it. I could not give that advance back. And so I noticed what I was saying. One of my friends took my daughter out for the whole day so I could write. And guess what I did? You know what I did. I tidied up my sock drawer. All the knives and forks had to face the right way. I put my cushion together because I was saying to myself, I don't want to write the book. It's so boring. And my mind said, you know what? Those socks really need to be organized. That silverware needs to all be straightened. And I understood what I was doing. And I began to say, I love writing, love writing, love writing. There is nowhere I'd rather be, nowhere in the world I'd rather be right now than writing this book. Of course, that was a lie. I'd much rather be having Sunday lunch with my friends. But I understood to tell myself a better lie. This is boring to write a book. It's torture to write a book. Well, that's a lie. It's hell having to write a book. I'd love that. Can I have the advance? That's my fantasy. Are you kidding me? Someone's giving you all that money to write a book and you're calling it hell? I would love that. So I began to say, I love writing. There's nowhere else I'd rather be in the entire world than here writing my book. And I even shocked myself because I noticed I was so committed. I was writing, my publisher was Penguin. At that time, I'd take my draft in and I think when I leave, just have a little shock because it was right in the middle of a busy high street in Kensington. I think, nope, I need to go home to that book. I'd come in and I'd just do an hour. And it was so compelling, so engrossing. And I finished the book. I delivered the draft. I was on a train going to Scotland to celebrate my friends and they said, you must feel amazing. I'm like, actually, do you know what? I feel a bit bereft. I was so into it. I loved it. And now I finished it. It's like, oh, am I probably better write another one? I said, oh no, there's only one book in me. I couldn't write another one. And I thought, that's a crazy lie to tell. So there's only one book in me. And now I've written 5, and my new book is called Tell Yourself a Better Lie. But all of this came about because I decided to say, I'm choosing to write this book. I'm choosing to sit here and write this book, and I'm choosing to feel great. I'm choosing not to eat chocolate. I'm choosing not to drink Diet Coke. I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to go to the gym.
For more information on collaborating, partnering, sponsoring, supporting, or speaking at any of our events, or finding out more about our legacy clubs, go to www.thebestyou.co. If you're interested in finding out more about the amazing content we have, please go to www.thebestyou.online and get your 14-day free trial now.
So I want you to understand that in those words, I'm choosing to do this and choosing to feel great about it. You are choosing to take control of your life, to dialogue with yourself, to have your mind understand that it works for you. You do not work for it. Your mind, another rule of your mind is it likes to move you towards pleasure and away from pain. And this is a biggie for people, because when we say things like, oh, I love my McDonald's, I need my latte, this chocolate cake is better than sex. We've told our mind this is massive pleasure. Now every time I'm in pain, I need cake. And all you have to do is reverse that and go, you know, for my body, this is not pleasure. This is not pleasure. This is just chemicals and junk and sugar. So you can have anything you want in your life, anything. When you can dialogue with yourself, when you can speak to your mind in a way that allows you to understand and deliver. So go back to your notes and write something down. Whenever you talk to yourself, your mind must understand and it must deliver. You know, many, many years ago, I lived where I'm living now in Notting Hill in London. I had a friend, and she lived in the same street as a rock star, quite a famous rock star. He had a basement flat, she had a basement flat. And he used to walk past, and there's a song at the time called I Want That Guy. And every time she saw me, she'd sing the song, and we'd laugh. I want that guy. She goes, I want him. I want him in my bed. I want that guy. She didn't understand what a manifester she was. One day, typical rock star, got a bit drunk, went down the stairs to the wrong basement, rang her bell, showed the door in her nightie or a negligee, and he was in her bed. And they had a great night. She never saw him again. I'm like, well, that's what you asked for. You kept saying, I want that guy in my bed. I want him. You could have said, I want that guy for the rest of my life. He's going to see me in the street. Our hearts are going to collide. He's going to see me and magnetically go, oh, my God, you're my soulmate. You're the one. You're my twin flame, if you believe in that stuff. I don't believe in twin flames. But you could have said, we meet, we have a night of passion, and that's it. We're together forever. He's crazy about me. I'm the one for him. He's the one for me. But you didn't. You said, I want him in my bed for a night. And amazing, you did it. So when people say, you know, I've learned to manifest and I can find a spare parking meter in the whole of London, it's like, that's great. When people say, hey, I learned to manifest and I got to cancel an event, or I got there late and I managed to make everyone else late, that's great. But big manifestations, you need to think big. Really, people say, no, have little goals. No, have massive, big goals. When I became a therapist, I said, I'm going to be the best therapist in Britain. But I knew that I had to do something. You see, that's another problem in the rules of your mind for you, is that we read things like The Secret. I'm not bashing up The Secret, but it says, sit on your chair at home and manifest a millionaire. Well, no one says, let's manifest a job but never leave the house. If I want to buy a new house, I better go out and look for a new house. If I want a job, I better go and have some interviews. I want to find a great guy. I better decide what kind of guy I want and then go put myself right in front of one. So maybe I'd go to a golf course, lots of single men there. Maybe I'd go to a poker school. When I was on honeymoon with my husband in the Bahamas, he took me to play poker. And I was there's 3 women in this whole room, and about 153 men, and some of them are really nice. I'm like, oh, that's what single women need to do. Go to poker, go where men are, but they go to yoga and they go to book clubs, and men are just as bad. They go to the weight room. Like, no, you need to go to the yoga room where it's all women and no men. So when you want to manifest like this girl did with a rock star, you need to do 3 things. First, think about what you want. Is it to be a millionaire, a billionaire, to have a thriving business, an incredible company, an incredible body, and the most amazing love in your life? Think about what you want and be very clear and use these words: what I want, what I require of myself. Use these exact words, write them down now. What I insist on for myself is this amazing love that goes the whole distance. We are committed to each other. We're so in love and it lasts forever. Or I require, insist on a thriving business, an amazing company, my own product. And when you've decided what you really, really, I want a great body, I want an athlete's body, or I want to live until I'm 105 and to have amazing health and a sharp mind. Okay, I know what you want. Next, and this is what the secret misses, what are you going to do to get that? You can either go to the gym to get that great body, to really pay attention to what you eat and think and do to live until you're 105. What are you going to do to have an amazing career? What are you going to do to have an amazing person? Because if you want an amazing person and you list all their qualities, that's good. But then think, hey, what does that person want? Do they want me? And where is that person? Where would I find that person? Maybe if I want someone fit, they'd be a runner. Maybe they'd be in IT night classes. Maybe they'd be at a downtown convention learning about business. I'm not going to go to a pub or a bar. So you got to do more than just think about what you want. Decide that what I want wants me. What I am moving towards is moving towards me like a laser, and then decide, what are you going to do? I have met so many people who said, I wrote a book. Where is it? Oh, I put it in a drawer. I never really felt comfortable sending it. I wrote a screenplay. It's amazing. Well, where is it? Oh, I didn't have the confidence to send it. I was too scared somebody would reject it. I had a great idea. 10 years later, someone else had the same idea, and I saw them take it to market, and they've become billionaires. Why didn't you take it to market? I was too scared of being rejected. That is the biggest thing, my cousin. I coulda, woulda, shoulda. I had a book, I had a vision, I had an idea, I submitted like a patent, I had a thought, but I just didn't do anything with it because I was too scared of being rejected. So I'm going to conclude this with what runs you. When you are born on the planet, you have a driving need to survive. And you know how you survive? You survive by finding connection and avoiding rejection. And 500 years ago, rejection may have killed you. If you ever watched Game of Thrones, which I loved, you saw it very clearly. Survival was a numbers game. If you were in a group and they liked you in Game of Thrones, if you were in the wall, you'd live. If you're out of the wall, you wouldn't live. So we knew something. Rejection could kill me. And Romeo and Juliet, when the king banishes him, he says, banishment? I'd rather be killed, frankly. There's nothing outside those city walls but purgatory. I don't want to be banished. I'd rather be dead. Because being rejected could kill you. We used to banish people who acted out, maroon them, cast them out, put them in solitary. Where my father lives in a very old village, they had a church with a banishment window. When they banished someone from the village that was not playing by their rules, they had to come back and sit outside the church in all weathers and just listen to the banishment. They had to run away before the service ended because they couldn't be in the community. So rejection used to kill us. And now we feel like it's still, well, I'll die if you reject me. I'll die if you dump me. I'll die if you fire me. I'll die if you say no. I've got a book and I've left it in a drawer for 10 years because I'm so scared you might reject it. And what if you accept it and you get horrible reviews? Oh, I hated that book. I hated that person. Well, here's the thing. If you want to survive in life, understand this truth. Nobody can reject you without your consent. No one can reject you unless you decide to agree with them. And guess what else? Rejection doesn't kill you. Years ago, it might have done. Now, you could live in an apartment with 100 cats, well, maybe 5 cats, get Amazon to deliver all your stuff, never see a person in your entire life, and live until you're 105. Because you don't die from rejection, but you think you might. And that is another rule of your mind, these ancestral fears. If you reject me, it will kill me. If you say no to me, it will kill me. No, it won't. Sometimes rejection can be the best thing that ever happened to you. I wake up and I'm thrilled that I got kicked out of college, really thrilled, because I would have gone a different path. I'm so glad my first boyfriend dumped me. I thought he broke my heart. He actually freed me for something better. He was my starter relationship, like my first apartment was a little starter home. Now I've got an amazing husband, an amazing home. And as I look back on my life, many of the rejections were the best thing that ever happened. I just didn't know that then. So rejection won't kill you. The only thing that will hurt you is what you perceive rejection to be. So let me just recap very quickly because we're about to run out of time. And you know I can talk all day. But I couldn't once. I was the most insecure kid. When I was at school, I couldn't even look at anyone in the eye. I was going to be a nanny. That's all I thought. I had nothing wrong with being a nanny. I'm talking to a nanny. But I thought, well, that's what I do. I thought I could never have children, so I should be a nanny. I have a wonderful grown-up daughter. That wasn't true. You'll never amount to anything. That wasn't true. My daughter's teacher said to her, by the way, don't apply to a good art school. You never get in. Apply to a mediocre one. She is a stunningly talented, successful artist because she didn't let that in. So remember the blueprint. Every time you wake up, just say to yourself, what's the blueprint? Oh, it's too hot. It's too cold. It's too, I missed this. I missed the train. The day is ruined. Don't let yourself have a negative blueprint. Make your life a masterpiece. Remember the blueprint. Remember the strongest force in you is you must act in a way that's consistent with how you define yourself better. Remember, every thought you think has a physical reaction and an emotional response. Remember the lemon. Remember you could do that and make your arm go further just by telling it. Remember the magic words. I am choosing this and choosing to feel great. Remember, keep your mind in the present tense. Use very exciting words. Don't go, yeah, my life's nice or everything's good. Be exciting. I have phenomenal coping skills. My life is amazing. I'm a warm, loving person. And finally, I want you to add these 4 words to every single thing you say. I want you to wake up every day and say, I matter. I'm significant. I am lovable and I'm enough. I want you to write that on your mirror. Stick it on your fridge in fridge magnets. Join the I am enough movement. I founded that. People write to me and say, that cured my depression. That stopped me feeling suicidal. I upgraded to a better relationship, a better career, a better job, because I bought into I am enough. Its strength is in its simplicity. So if you would wake up every day and go, right, here's the blueprint then. Marisa said, I must have a good blueprint, a better blueprint. Every word is a blueprint. And I'm not quite at the working out what it should be, but I'm giving you what it should be. Every time you open your eyes, say, I am enough. I am lovable, just the way I am, by the way. I matter and I'm significant. Write it on your ceiling if you want. Put it on a mood board where you see it. Write it on your mirror in lipstick or eyeliner or marker pens. When you clean your teeth, you have to see, I matter, I'm significant, I'm enough, I'm lovable. Change all your passwords securely so they also say matter, significant, lovable, enough. And you have to write them out, type them out, think them, speak them, say them every day. Write it on your hand. Put it on your cushions. print it on your pillowcase. There are so many ways you might notice that I wear these little bracelets, and they all say I'm enough. There's another one here. I have it all over my house, on the chalkboard, on my fridge, everywhere, because it's my mantra. It wasn't. I thought I was the most hideous, ugly, stupid kid in the world. And if someone had said to me, all you have to do is say, I'm enough, I'm lovable, I matter, I'm significant, and it would change your life, I would have done it. But at least I have the joy of getting you to do it. And you are lovable. Love is not to be bought or chased or earned or even worked for. It's just who you are. When you were born as a baby, you didn't go, better not ask for attention, it's 5 a.m. I better not throw up this organic broccoli my mum spent 2 hours buying and chopping and you went, I don't like that, and you spat it out. Because when you were born, you had one belief. Whatever I want, it's available to me. And you know what? It still is, because that belief hasn't gone away. It's just been buried. So I want you to go to marisapeer.com/bestyou, marisapeer.com/bestyou. And we have all kinds of free products that we give away. We have audios for wealth wiring, for love, for health, for success. They're all free. We don't ask for your credit card. I'd love to talk to you forever, but I know Bernardo's got someone else waiting in the wings. So remember the rules of your mind. Remember that magic word. I'm choosing this, and remember your blueprint. I'm enough, I matter, I'm significant, I'm lovable. Like Billy Joel said, just the way you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Marisa. That was amazing as always. Thank you, everyone. Please, we're going to repeat. We're going to put the ticker down there again, please. And any of you that is watching this still live, please pop into the booth. If you're watching the recording, still watch the booth. Remember, these recordings are available for 30 days, so you can still watch this talk, and we're going to carry on coming back so you can be part of the community. Marisa, thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
For more information, go to www.thebestyou.co.